I'm gonna go visit my father-in-law for a little bit.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okie dokie, artichokes.
Alright, so my goal for today is to make some yummy food, talk about my book for the next 3 hours or so, and if I get tired, exercise, and yeah. I need to get healthier, which means discipline, and right now I got some red potatoes, some chicken, and I'm going to add a bunch of greens and tomatoes, I think, to the mix. Hey, you guys, what are you doing? Alright, so here we are.
Hi there.
So what's interesting about Oblivion is they took an old game and they revamped it, as you can see, so it's graphically intense, but the story is the same. They didn't make any changes, which means old veterans of the series will enjoy replaying all the classic
Do you think the attack
narratives.
will come soon, sir?
Personally, I haven't done that much in the game. I think I completed the entire story narrative, but it's funny because now I'm replaying it along with, well, the other games I'm playing right now because I'm looking for inspiration. So I'm really engaged with the story. I'm not really looking to actually, like, usually I think I had to change how I approach gaming in my older as I get older, because when I was younger I was like most young people, I was all about getting the strongest, most powerful character and exploring every possible element and creation in the game. But games are getting so big that you can't do that anymore, really. I mean, if you think about it. Just like in the real world, the more real the game becomes, the more you have to engage with the game as you would in real life. Because, and that in essence creates a paradox. Why are you playing a game to escape reality if the game resembles a reality much like your own? Because in any game, you're dealing with uh, characters and identity being put through conflict, and I suppose if you get past the graphics and the fact that the worlds are pretty big these days, what you're left with is the game itself, with the narratives and the content. So currently I have these active quests, because this is a quests and questions, uh, I guess, podcast, as you'd call it. Allies for Bruma. I spoke to the Count of Braville. He promised to send some of his best soldiers to help defend Bruma. Joffrey is worried that Brumagard will not be able to defend Bruma from a full-scale attack by the Mythic Dawn and their Daedric allies. He suggested that I try to obtain support from the other cities of Cyrodiil. Perhaps I can persuade the Elder Council and the Imperial City as well. So, I have to go to the other cities. As you can see, I have these red markers everywhere. I've gone to some cities, not all of them. It looks like I have a few left. Well, more than a few. I have 5. So, one thing gaming teaches you is how to accomplish goals, because I'm not sure. Let me ask my artificial intelligence, hey, how many game hours are there theoretically if you were to play all of the content through in the game Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls on PS5? Let's see what it says.
The amount of game time for The Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion on PS5, varies greatly depending on your playstyle. A remastered version of the game has been released for modern consoles, including the PS5. Here's a breakdown based on data from gaming communities. Main story. If you focus only on the main questline, you can expect to spend around 17 to 23 hours to complete the game. Main story plus extras. This includes the main quest, plus a good number of side quests, faction quests, and exploring. This will likely take you between 50 and 80 hours. Completionist. To see and do everything in the game. Completing all quests, including DLCs like Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine. Clearing all dungeons, exploring all locations, and maxing out skills. The time can easily reach 100 hours or more.
Jesus.
Some players report spending over 200 hours on a single character. It's worth noting that the PS5 version may have a bug where the in-game timer counts time spent in rest mode, so the displayed playtime on your save file might be higher than your actual playtime.
Well, whatever. Still, that's a lot of time. I mean, even if I was to do everything perfectly, 100 hours. If I'm being honest, that would take me at least 100 days. So, one thing I've learned about after doing some research is a lot of these newer games, it's not uncommon for casual players like myself to take easily 3 to 6 months, if not sometimes a full year, just to play at their own pace through the game. Because ultimately, if you're only playing for an hour a day and you're casual and you're not going from goal to goal and you're kind of just, as you would in real life, just casually go about your thing, it's a lot of content. And right now, I'm playing not just this one, I'm playing Oblivion and 2 other Elder Scrolls games. So, and each one of those games have easily the same amount of content. So combined, if I'm just playing Elder Scrolls, the games on my PS5, I have easily a year's worth of content, if not more. So my goal is to accomplish, if it's even theoretically possible, at least for the first 2 games. I think at least it's possible to complete the game when it comes to, and you have to be a realist in this sense that there's always going to be extra content in the game, or secret content, or content you just didn't reach. So it's about how much you want. I mean, where is the end of the story? I guess ultimately is people like me. So I guess for me, I for these types of games, I call it quits when I can no longer play any of the narratives. Like, for example, on Grand Theft Auto, it's pretty cut and dry. You reach a point in the game where there's no more narratives, and you're just doing grinding of creating a more powerful character. And that's really, when you reach that point where you're just creating a more powerful character, you're not engaging in new storylines, and that's when I call it quits. But as long as there's a new narrative and a new adventure to go on, I'm all for it, and that's why I think Grand Theft Auto for me is for, at least for me, it's these days it's an online game. Like Grand Theft Auto 1, 2, 3, and 4, and not to get off topic, but those first 4 games were good games. But the 5th one and this new one coming out, I mean, there's going to be a narrative, but the majority of the content will be online. So, which is what the Elder Scrolls Online is, which I actually pay for a small fee every month just to have access to that. So, um, but yeah, I'm combining 2 passions, or a few passions right now, and I'm sharing them with my social community online. One, because I need to activate certain parts of my brain, and you have to crawl before you can walk, before you can run. So as the way I look at it is, as long as you're not hurting anybody, and you're sharing your passions with the world, and if it's good for your mental health, let's do it. Right now I got some cookies in the oven that I should go check on in a couple minutes. Um, and I'm also baking some yummy chicken and potatoes like I said earlier. So I'm going to take a break here in the broadcast in the next 15 minutes to go make some food. But let's start with it. Oh yeah, and to add a little spice to this game, I will be consulting my Magic 8 Ball during the game if I come to any questions I can't answer. So, I'm at the city. Maybe I should go in here because that's where it's telling me to go. I love how the worlds are so vivid in all the games. The culture is so intense. I would say this game is a medieval Elder Scrolls type of content, which is as you can see, castles and knights in armor.
How goes it?
It's telling me I should go in here, but it's locked, so let me wait a bit. Oh, I think there he is.
I don't have time to chat right now, with that Oblivion gate looming outside. My first responsibility is to the people of Cheydinhall. They look to me for protection in these dark times.
All right, so this is
With
the
an
fun
open
part.
Oblivion gate just outside our walls, I cannot risk weakening Cheydinhall's defenses, even for such a worthy cause.
So, I'm a pretty interesting fellow, because even though my personality is bland currently and my charisma is pretty low because I have a variety of things affecting me, it doesn't mean my passions and will don't still exist. So I'm exploring these things now, and I'm so comfortable with where I'm living that I have no more excuses to not do my passions in life. I've bought in a lot of things recently, including this gaming system. Everything I've purchased within the past few years, after literally recovering from nothing, I tend to value more, and it's created this minimalistic type of mentality where I no longer create excess in my life. and it's taken some time to get used to. But at the same time, it's also a healthy way to live, I think, for somebody like me. Um, but to get back on topic, I need to go check my cookies before they burn, so I'll be right back, and we'll talk about this this narrative that we got going on here, and whether or not it's going to be worth exploring. Alrighty. I made 2 really big cookies with a little M&Ms, so that'll be fun. So anyways, who am I? I am this escaped prisoner, and I think I called this I called this guy Kevin, so I'm calling all my characters Kevin. I really don't care at this point. Kevin's the name of my brother, and I haven't seen him in a while, so he's my closest connection. So I wouldn't say my most intimate connection, but my closest, if that makes any sense. Even though we haven't spoken in a while, and it's been difficult these past few years to find happiness in the absence of him and everybody I used to enjoy spending time with. But I don't ruminate anymore. Older I get, the less I ruminate on things. I have too many things that are so amazing in my life right now. I mean, how can you not be happy when you have little kittens in your life? I literally, I think, I think if you could make kittens last forever and can stay the size that they are, you would never have. I'm watching this kitten right now. It's driving me crazy. But anyways, so I'm not sure if he accepted
The head
our offer.
of the Elder Council and a trusted servant of the Empire. No one is better suited to guide us through these troubled times.
Alright, so I can
I
ask
can
him.
only hope that Farwell and his knights manage to close that Oblivion gate. The fate of Cheydinhall hangs in the balance.
So, this guy's pretty cut and dry.
Not long ago, one of those foul gates manifested itself just outside the west gates of our city. Nothing's come out of it yet, but we fear the worst. My son, Farwell, has taken some knights and entered the gate bravely in hopes of meeting the enemy head-on. If you want to help, and we can use all the help we can get, head over to the gate and lend a hand to the guards.
So it's an interesting conundrum that I found myself caught up in. I was a prisoner at the beginning of the game, and I was caught up in an event, to say the least, that affected the entire realm in this game. And somehow it's led me to where I'm at now, you see. And that's kind of life. I keep on exploring this narrative, and I'm noticing in this new world that I'm in that there's this universal threat called the Oblivion realm that is creating these Stargate type portals where these demon-like creatures come through and terrorize and kill people. So obviously the threat and conflict is pretty cut and dry there. You have different races, and you can explore.
There's been
culture.
trouble with smugglers and Khajiit bandits in the Transnibbon, but Marius Kara is taking steps to deal. Some words should be shared only by friends.
So, yeah.
Goodbye.
So I guess since talking to him, as you can see the green
How do you do?
marker over his head, the marker of green that was on the map there went away. And now we have a red marker that I'm following. That's pretty much what I'll be doing. If you've never gamed, or if you're not a gamer, these are the things that matter when you're, because context is everything, and I'll try to limit my speech in this video to only things that can enhance the context of the game. Like, for example, I right now I'm controlling my character with a handheld device, a controller.
Let's hear it.
And I'm following that red cursor, as you can see at the top of the screen. I can also bring up my map with the push of a few buttons, and as you can see, that's where I'm headed there. So to make things quicker, I'll just travel the quick travel, as they say. I have two little kittens chasing each other right now. But yeah, the graphics for a game that's like old, like really old. What year did Oblivion come out? The Elder Scrolls? I just asked my...
The original release of The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion was in 2006. Specifically, it was released for PC and Xbox 360 on March 20th, 2006.
So wasn't
the PlayStation 3 version came out a year later, on March 20th, 2007. A remastered version, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, was released for modern consoles like the PlayStation 5 on April 22nd, 2025.
So I just raided and looted this dead person. You might call him a knight, and I took his armor. I mean, he doesn't need it anymore. He's dead. And you know, I don't see anybody claiming it, so finders keepers. Right now, I'm wearing some unique armor from my guild that I'm a part of. But it might be, as you can see, I might need... These are kind of cool looking. I like it. I like how they look. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I suppose it's a good thing I auto-saved. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. I made it. Alright, I'm gonna go check on my food. I'll be back. I'm back. Took me longer than expected, but all thanks to those who wait. Mm. 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 You know, it doesn't take much to eat healthy. Mm. 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 I made me some red potatoes, vegan cheese, salad, green and spinach, carrot, garlic, a little butter, a little salt and pepper, a little variety of herbs and spices, a little sour cream. Mm. Yummy. Oh yeah. Can't forget the grilled chicken breast. Mm. Mm. And to rinse it down. Mm. My own concoction. Smoothie recipe with ginger. That's right, ginger. Blueberries. Green apples. Red apples. Banana. Strawberry. What else? Milk. Yogurt. Low-fat yogurt. Little cinnamon. Little cane sugar, not much, maybe a tablespoon. Little added sugar for flavor. And, oh yeah, and some black cherries. Those were good. Oh yeah, and a lemon. I put a lemon in there too. I can cram a lot in these smoothies. And then I also put a base layer, about a half a cup of oatmeal. So yeah, healthy smoothie. Mm. And I always feel better when I eat like this. I have some yams. Mm. I lost a lot of weight recently because I stopped eating that much. And of course, I added some amino acids and what else did I add? Oh yeah, some sun-dried tomatoes, a little olive oil. Mm. Little cabbage, little basil. Mm-mm. Fuck politics, but the point stands. I don't believe, but I do know. But I do know they guide my thinking. But I do kneel on them from time to time.
After more than 30 years, the price of Arizona iced teas may finally go up. The company's been able to manage with inflation over the years because it owns all of its production facilities.
All right.
And also shrink.
I just had some yummy food. Okay, I'll put my dishes away.